Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind Basket. Yes. So, today we are going to do the third part of the story of psychology. Yes, it's not yet over. So, you may be thinking, what is the next part, right? Well, before we move forward, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Good. So, as things were developing in psychology, psychologists in the 1950s and 60s were more interested in studying about cognition. Okay, so they wanted to know about thinking, memory, perceptions, all those things. Okay, the higher levels of cognition rather than behavior. So this came into being, and people wanted to know more and more about it, right? So, this is how it went to the next part, that is about cognition. Got it? Indian philosophers, they wanted to understand this mystery. So, between 2000 BC to 500 AC, they studied about this, okay, and the philosophers wanted to understand what is this actually about. Okay, so they studied the mind, soul, intuition, but it was more philosophical. Okay, so as moving forward, there was Upanishads. Okay, and they thought about, right. So going forward, there was koshas. Koshas have different types, and these were them, right? Okay, so these all told a lot about human behavior, okay? And this was the way that Indians wanted to know about this perspective. Ayurveda also explained this thing through three types, okay? And it mentioned that these three types have certain individuals falling into these three types. Uh, these types had prakriti. Prakriti means characteristics. We all have different characteristics, so we fall into any one of these three. That's what Ayurveda tried to explain. The three types are kapha, the second one is vata, third type is pitta. Okay, so as these things came to be known, these were known as doshas, okay, in people. Besides dosha, there was something called guna. Guna also, again, these are qualities. So there were three types of qualities. They were sattva, right? Then there is rajas, and then there is tamas. Now, we people again fall into any one of these categories. Okay, so this was like we are trying to know more about people, how they behave, how they, uh, how their actions are. So these were very important at that point of time. Then, as it got developed in 5th century, Patanjali came up with a yogic explanation of this, which was very scientific in vision. It spoke about 8 aspects of the person. Okay, so they were, right? I have mentioned also what do they mean. Exactly. It's very important that we know what do they mean, and this you can write in your uh, test or exam, because that shows that you know the concept very well. Got it? So as things were developing, Indian saints and philosophers, they tried to understand this concept and explain as they understood it. So, this is how the development of psychology took place in the Indian context. Then, psychology was based on 4 factors or 4 goals. Okay, so if a question comes, what are the 4 factors of psychology or 4 goals of psychology? Then this should be your answer, right? So, 4 goals. The first one is describe what is happening. Now, it's very important that we need to classify or identify. We as humans behave in different ways in formal and informal situations, right? But also, maybe an American will behave differently in a formal situation, and an Indian will behave differently in a formal situation, right? So, what is this reason behind this, right? We need to identify. It could be anything, such as financial status, cultural background, um, an upbringing, family upbringing. Many other things are there that could be the reason, right? So, how would you find out this? So, researchers use psychological tools such as standardized test, survey method, naturalistic observation, and many more. Got it? So, was the first goal. The second goal is explanation. So, here they want to know why is this happening? What are the causes? Okay? What are the facts? Now, if it happens only, like if a certain situation happens, okay, and there are many people around, but only one person reacts in a different way, while the other person reacts in another way, we cannot generalize it because there are two different reactions, okay? But supposing if there is a, you know, a natural calamity in a particular area, and there are large number of people reacting in the same way, so then we can generalize it on that particular number of people from that ethnic group or from that community. Okay, so we can generalize those because we have facts, we have statistics to know that. Okay, so that is very important. It is important to understand the underlying causes of it. That is the second goal. Okay, the third goal is prediction. What will happen next? So we should be able to predict what will happen next. Okay, that's very important. So supposing if, like if there is a natural calamity, the people have people of that particular area have faced the natural calamity, we should know that next what can happen. There will be large number of people suffering from maybe PTSD, anxiety, okay, panic attacks, okay. There could be lot of stress, okay. So all these things we should be able to predict so that we will be able to help them and give them the right uh, tools to overcome them. So that's very, very important. The fourth goal is control. How can it be changed? Well, control means modification or changing that particular thing which is undesirable, unwanted, okay, which is causing problems for our life or for others, okay. Like as I mentioned, natural calamities. So, for example, say a community or a area where people have suffered from a deluge situation, या जहाँ पे बाढ़ आ गया है, floods, okay. तो at that point of time, what should be done, that is very important. Like for example, if there are many children in that area, that those children, whenever they will see rain, they might get panic attacks, okay. So we as psychologists, counselors, should know that which techniques will be helpful to change that behavior or to modify that behavior, okay. So with that behavior change, the child or children will be able to overcome their problem. So, this can be done by therapy, by grounding techniques, soothing techniques. All these things should be known. So, it's important because we, as professionals or going to be professionals, we need to be alert about it. So, this is the fourth goal of psychology. So, if you have any questions regarding this chapter, you can ask in comments, okay, and I will surely answer. Also, the next chapter is going to come soon. Before you go, please do subscribe, share, and like, because if you don't do that, you will not get the notification for the next chapter. So stay tuned. Bye.